Good afternoon, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for October 12th, 2014, Sunday afternoon, around 5:10 p.m. in Bellwether, Massachusetts. About 61 degrees outside. It's a nice autumn day. It's the peak of the leaf season. All the trees are beautiful with the color of the leaves changing. Soon all of the leaves will be down. A lot of them are falling down already, so rake them up, and in a few weeks they'll pick them up in this area. Some news to report. The New England Patriots beat the Buffalo Bills by the score of 37-22. The Pats are back in sole possession of first place in the AFC East, where they belong, and they're going to be winning the division again easily. And also tough break for the reigning MVP of the National Basketball Association, Kevin Durant. He fractured his foot. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. The Oklahoma City Thunder are in serious trouble for like Kevin Durant being out for a month. So looks like Durant's not going to be back-to-back MVP winners in the NBA unless if he has a monster season, scoring like 60 points a game every night. And sad news to report in my family, my great uncle Jimmy passed away today at the age of 72. He was my uncle on my father's side, and when I was younger, I would always talk baseball about him. I did not see great Uncle Jimmy for the last 20 years of my life. Sad. Prayers to his family. And anyway, my next subject is about former Boston Talk radio station 96.9 FM Talk, WTKK in Boston. WTKK was the first and only all-talk radio station in Boston FM. To date, it lasted from September 1999 through January 2nd, 2013, and it was owned by Greater Media. Before, it was a country music station, but like Greater Media thought there was a market for FM talk radio in Boston. Boston has had some great talk radio stations like WRKO and WMEX, and also at night WBZ, and Greater Media thought that the FM talk dial could be popular in Boston because other cities across the country had popular FM radio stations that were talk stations, and they were successful. And some of the main talk shows during the years on WTKK was Bradley and Egan, Jay Severin, Michael Graham, Michelle McPhee, and others. And for years, in the morning times from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., WTKK carried Imus in the morning out of New York. Don Imus, who was kind of like one of those shock jocks, and it was real popular. His talk show on the air, it was on the air for several years until an incident happened in like April of 2007 when he made some sexist remarks about the Rutgers women basketball team, and his company got rid of him, and then many radio stations dropped Imus, and WTKK was one of them, and they moved Bradley and Egan to his slot. And around 2007, WTKK was also interested in getting the services of Howie Carr, who was a Boston Herald writer, and also he hosted his own talk show on WRKO. And Howie Carr's contract was up in 2007, and they were really negotiating. They kind of signed a tentative agreement for Howie to start broadcasting in the morning times from 5:30 to 10, but it fell through at the last minute, and Howie renewed his contract with WRKO, and that was a major blow to WTKK. And also WTKK had other shows. Some of them were syndicated, like the Wall Street Journal radio program and Mike Schmutnitz's show and America Overnight. And they also had broker time talk shows like Mel Robbins and Joe Gotti and Jimmy Myers, and they had the Phantom Gourmet show on Saturday afternoons with the Andelman brothers from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturdays for about 5 years, and they had Right Turn Radio, which was a talk show about like addiction to anything, and also they had like Calling All Sports, which was from I think 1999 through like early 2006. It was hosted by Gary Tanway for a few years and Upton Bell, and then eventually it was owned by Bob Rogers, who hosted it, but they had to stop airing it in 2006 because WTKK had got Eddie Andelman and the Sports Huddle. It was the new Sports Huddle with him and Billy Fairweather, who was a producer for ESPN for many years, sports producer, and also for WLVI TV 56. And Billy Fairweather owns the Greatest Bar on Friend Street in Boston, near the TD Garden. And Friend Street used to have Hooters of Boston, 222 Friend Street. And also, Billy also owned Baseball Tavern near Fenway Park. And the Sports Huddle was on for 4 years until Eddie decided to retire. The ratings for like 96.9 FM Top were pretty decent for the first 10 years, and they didn't have too much sports program. The only sports programming they had for sports besides those talk shows were like some BC college hockey games, and they had some women's basketball games in the early part of their existence, and they had some slogans for this: Boston Talks and Boston's Talk Evolution and stuff like that. Around 2009, in August of 2009, WTKK's ratings went downhill because of the launch of the Sports Hub, which was 98.5. It was a sports talk show format, and that ate away the ratings for WTKK for talk, even though the talk, it was all like news talk except a few sports programs here and there, and the station was losing ratings, losing money. They got rid of a lot of hosts and stuff like that. They had a kind of, in the later years, they had a deal with NECN, and NECN like simulcast their morning news show on 96.9 FM Talk for the last 3 or 4 years, but they didn't do too good of the ratings. A lot of talent was leaving and being replaced by syndicated programming or broker deal programming. By election day 2012, the writing was on the wall that WTKK was going to be changing formats to a music format, and on January 2nd, 2013 was the last talk show on WTKK Boston. It converted over to a hip-hop format and Hot 96.9 under it was a new like call letters. I don't know what they are, top end. It was kind of sad to see 96.9 FM Talk go off the airwaves. They had a good selection of hosts and stuff. It was competitive, but you know, when the Sports Hub debuted, they took all its ratings, and the FM Talk for like just straight talk with no sports maybe doesn't work in Boston, but hopefully one of these days a similar talk format for FM could return on the air in Boston in the near future. I think Boston could have another talk radio station, FM. Don't know what it's going to be, but I think there's a market for it. I think they maybe in a few years another radio station could do it. Maybe they could move WRKO to FM, but where are you going to put it? I don't see them converting to WAAF 107.3 to talk, have the WRKO FM, but stranger things have happened. But I think in a few years, maybe that's a possibility, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. Well, that's about it on that. I'll be back later for my third and final video blog tonight, which will be about supermodel Heidi Klum. See you later, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. Bye now.